Did Dr. Wright, rest of the clergy in the audience, to Felicia and the family, and to all. Since hearing of Lawrence's passing, I've been going through a lot of thinking and reflection of all the time we spent together. But you see, Lawrence and I started this friendship in kindergarten. Now, we went to kindergarten at Levi Park. If you go by there now, you'll see a cinder block building, but when we were there, it was a wooden building. I'm not sure how we kept it, how whether it was warm in the winter or cool in the summer, but I do remember there was a jukebox. And Lawrence and I got in plenty of trouble playing around, hiding around the jukebox. Not only were we there, but from kindergarten we went to grade school, and until graduation, we were always together. Following graduation, high school graduation, he went one way to one college and I went to the other. But our whole relationship wasn't only built on being in school together. We were also Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts together. We played on 3 or 4 different bands together, and we established a great bond that continues on, and will continue on, as fraternity brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi. There are many adventures and even misadventures I could tell you about, but that would take longer than the 3 minutes that I've been allotted. But what I do want to talk about are at least three of those enduring qualities that I saw in Lawrence that I will always remember. He loved music. Second, he had an instinct to know what needed to be done and to get it done. And finally, and I've heard it mentioned already, his love and gift for sharing. I will always remember in the 5th grade, Lawrence participated in the talent show. And the song he sang was a Nat King Cole song, with L-O-V-E, love. And not only did Lawrence know all the words to the song, but he had a couple of the moves that you would see Nat King Cole make. Even to this day, when I hear that song on the radio, I'll sing, well, more likely hum with the song until the end. And then I'll look, my wife knows the next words that are going to come out of my mouth are, that was Lawrence's song. That was Lawrence's song. He loved to play the saxophone. The song when he started off playing the saxophone on the alto sax. I thought he was better when he went to the tenor sax. And of course, Houston Person played the tenor sax. And every time Houston would come through, you could see the days after it, he would rear back and try to get that full sound that he heard. And he loved different types of music. I know a fact that I bought some music in groups, Steely Dan, Asian, that I never would have bought other than Lawrence said, hey Jimmy, come and listen to this. So he really had an appreciation for music. Lawrence always seemed to know what needed to be done and what was expected of him and to get it done. We all knew that option 1 for him was to go into the family business. And he never shied away from that. I remember one time visiting him when he was in school down in Atlanta, and a little surprised to see how serious he was. I saw firsthand how serious he was in learning that profession and being prepared to do it. It was as if he had the attitude, if he was going to do this, he was going to be the best at learning and do the best in the skills that he had. But finally, and probably the greatest, and this is the one that I've heard so many times, is his gift of sharing. Unsolicited last night, someone mentioned to me, I never heard Lawrence say no. He may have said, I'll get back to you, but he never said no. But those are things, material things that some folks have talked about. The one thing, as I think about it, in growing up, it was the information or the knowledge that we shared. Every time Lawrence learned something, or J.O. passed on one of those this is life type of nuggets to him, he would surely get it to me, and we would sit down and talk about it. Not long ago, Lawrence and I were having a conversation, and in the heart of that conversation, he said, you know, my father used to say, and talked about what that was. And for some reason, the way he said it struck me, and also during that conversation, I said to him, you know, thank you for all these years, how you've shared J.O. with me. And he said, you know, I've had a couple other people say something like that lately. And I'm just so glad that I had the time, took the time, in retrospect, to be able to say to him, thank you. I'm very appreciative of that. There are so many remembrances, but these are just a few of my friend Lawrence. A lover of the arts, a person who knew what was expected of him and did it, and a person who was willing to share. As I close, I just want to recite a very short poem. There are many people that we meet in our lives, but only a few will make a lasting impression on our minds and hearts. It is these people that we will think of often and who will always remain important to us as true friends. To a true friend, Florence, rest well. You've made an impression and will forever be on my heart and in my mind. To Felicia, Chipper, and Arnold Jerome, and the rest of the family, may God bless you and keep you, and please know that my prayers and the prayers of all of us here today are with you.
Brother Lawrence called me when I was honored to do the baccalaureate address this year for the Johnson C. Smith commencement. I was the baccalaureate speaker, and he heard about my nickname being told across America by Cheryl Underwood on the Tom Morning show. And I discovered he had a nickname, something like Grand Funk. My nickname was Crazy Fred, and the ladies knew me as Dr. Love. And my wife is still with me after 31 years. Lawrence was special in that the fact that Dr. Diggs invited me, I wasn't sure if I would get invited back because I'm a sort of a charismatic preacher. And Lawrence called me after the revival and said, Dr. Diggs said, you're coming back. And I came back not once, not twice, but I've been back here 3 times. And I look forward, if an invitation comes again, I'll come right on back. Lawrence was special. He loved his family. He dealt with something that Dr. Diggs is going to talk about that many of us don't think is possible, especially when we look at our past, that God can change us and use us into something brand new. Thank God for my 3 minutes, my opportunity at the request of his lovely wife to allow me to come. I will not have any of you ignorant concerning them which are asleep. But the question I leave to all of us, when you die, and you will die, but when you die, will it have mattered that you were born? And you can look around this room and you can see how the streets are blocked off, that James Lawrence Smith II, Sr., mattered to be born into this world. Sleep in heaven.